Hey guys, hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to show you how I created this makeup look inspired by the gorgeous none other than Deepika Padukone. I actually like this makeup look because it's kept very simple and very classic, and I just wanted to try my hands on this particular makeup look. So please do stay tuned and keep watching the entire video. So as you can see, I've already prepped my eyes. I'm just going to quickly get started with my eye makeup. And the palette that I'm going to use today is basically the Urban Decay Heat palette. This palette has the right shade of transition shade in case if you just want to go from light to dark, then this palette is actually a good choice. I'm going to take a lovely coral color on my blending brush, and I'm just going to go back and forth on my eyelids just to create that softer transition shade. So I'm just repeating the same process on the other eye, just going very gentle, not applying a lot of pressure while doing my eye makeup. So now I'm just done with the transition shade. The next step is I'm just going to create an eyeshadow base and just get started with my eye makeup. And for that, I'm just going to take a flat brush from Sigma, and I'm just going to use my concealer, which is again from the brand Too Faced. By now you guys know I'm just a big fan of Too Faced concealers. I think the coverage is excellent and also it's just worth the money. This is available on Nykaa as well. So I'm just not going to create an eyeshadow base on the entire eyelid, just partially, because I just want my eye makeup to look much more prominent. So I'm just going to go with my flat brush and I'm just going to create one. Alright, I'm just going to repeat the same with the other eye, and I'm just going to get started with my eye makeup. Now for the eyeshadow, I'm just going to use my Norvina palette, and I'm just going to pick a beautiful shade in the name Volatile. I think this is like a blend of brown and grey, and I think it just goes perfect for today's eye makeup look. So I'm just using my eyeshadow brush, which is from the brand Pinklite, and I'm just going to go on my eyelids and create that perfect eye makeup look. Oh my god, I just love the color. What excites me the most is for today's look there is no smoky eye, there are not like too many blend of colors happening. It's just like one color and that's about it. So I actually like this color, it looks so stunning and very classic. So I'm just going to repeat with the other eye. Alright, now I'm just going to show you how I do how I conceal my under eye. So this is basically my own technique. I'm not copying any makeup artist or any influencer or blogger. It's just my own technique which I feel goes very well with my skin. So the palette that I have been using religiously just for correcting the under eye is basically from MAC. It's in the shade medium deep. So this particular palette has around 9 shades and it's perfect if you want to use it as a corrector. Now on the other side, I'm not too convinced with MAC concealers. By that I don't mean I'm being negative about MAC concealers. For some people it works wonderful, for some people it doesn't. So it's just, you know, a personal opinion, a personal review. So if you ask me, I don't use this as a concealer, but I use this as a corrector. So why I use it as a corrector is because it kind of neutralizes the under eye and it works very well for corrector, just for the correction part. But when it comes to the concealing part, I use my Too Faced concealer. Now why I don't go ahead with MAC concealer is because somewhere I personally feel MAC leaves kind of a orange and yellow tint towards, you know, the end of makeup even after I apply layers of foundation, but somewhere that yellow and orange tint is actually visible under the lights or also in the images as well, which makes me very conscious. So that's the reason I use MAC palette only for correcting purpose but not for concealing purpose. And also when it comes for correction, I don't use the orange corrector directly on my skin, because lately what I have learned from my own makeup is when you use a color, something like a, you know, a corrector color, basically something like orange or something like green directly on the skin, I think it just pops up somewhere or the other, somewhere it just pops up. So I personally feel it's better if you kind of mix a concealer shade and an orange corrector, so kind of it just balances the color. So again, this is my personal take, not necessarily you guys have to copy. It's not actually necessary, yeah, because I personally feel for me it works this way, but for many people they apply the corrector and then they do the concealing, which is absolutely fine. So it's just a personal choice how you guys take your makeup ahead. So I personally take it this way. So what I usually do is I kind of say I use this shade, which is kind of a lighter shade, and I just take a little bit of product and slightly I'll just touch with this orange corrector and just go under my eye. That's all. That's about it. That is how I do my under eye. That's how I conceal my under eye. And then later on I just top it up with a Too Faced concealer. So I'm just going to show you the step right now how I usually do it. So yeah, I just take this and I take this and I just go under my eye just to conceal it. Now again, when you come to orange corrector, there are various shades as well. So there are like bright oranges. This is basically a burnt orange. This is not a brighter orange. It's more to do with a burnt orange. So it depends what kind of corrector you actually want. I'm sure LA Girl also has very good concealers and correctors, so you guys can actually use LA Girl as well. Not necessarily you have to invest only in expensive products or MAC, not necessary at all. You guys can actually pick even drugstore brand, even they are doing equally very well. So just understand the techniques and you guys can create your own techniques as well depending on what kind of skin you have. Like I said, I just created this my own technique because it works very well for my skin. I kind of just blend these two because I don't want a lot of orange popping in and I don't want a lot of bright color also popping there, because when you use a bright color directly under the eye, it looks ashy and it oxidizes with time. So it's very difficult to manage something like that. So blend of two is actually perfect. So now can you see the difference between this side and this side? This is how I just use my MAC palette. I don't use a lot of product. I just conceal it this much and then I just top it with my Too Faced concealer. So can you see it's kind of well balanced? Not a lot of orange is seen, or not a lot of brighter color is actually popping out there. It's like a perfect balance. It's not going to turn ashy and it's not going to oxidize with time as well. It's just going to settle in really well. And to do this step, always use a flat brush. Make sure the brush looks something like this. You can use it from PSC. This is from Morphe. And there are too many flat brushes out there. You guys can try even Real Techniques as well. So that's also fine. So now for the next step, I'm just going to use my concealer, which is from Too Faced in the shade Light Beige. So I'm just going to quickly use it on top of the MAC concealer. So this is how I basically do my concealing. Again, this is like full coverage, so you don't need a lot of product. Just be very careful while you're using this concealer because the coverage is actually medium to full coverage, yeah. And now to blend the concealer first, I'm just taking a smaller beauty blender. I'm just going to spray this with my setting spray so that the concealer sets in really well. And I'm just going to blend this out. Alright, the next step is you have to set the concealer. So do this step immediately to avoid crease lines under your eye. You can take a setting powder from any brand. I'm using Laura Mercier in the shade Translucent. So I'm just taking my smaller beauty blender and I'm just going to stretch this part and kind of set the concealer to avoid crease lines. Just going to press this and make sure the concealer is well settled. And then you can just blend this out with your any brush. It can be a blending brush or it can be a flat brush. Just give it a smooth finish. So for the foundation today, I'm just going to go ahead with LA Girl Pro Coverage HD foundation. The bottle looks something like this, and this is also available on Nykaa. And the shade that I'm going to use today is in the shade Natural, and I'm just going to mix this with the Illuminator by Elf Cosmetics just to have that little sheen on my face, because why not? So yeah, I'm just going to go with my flat brush from PSC and I'm just going to apply an appropriate product on my face. Just going very gentle. Again, I don't want a lot of coverage today. I don't want a lot of foundation. Just going to keep it as natural as possible. Just going to blend this out with this brush. So now I'm done with my foundation. I'm just going to use a fixed spray and just make sure that the foundation and the concealer sits in place. Just going to make sure it looks actually much more blended and natural. Alright, the next step is I'm just going to get started with doing the kajal. Now for the kajal, basically on the waterline it's done black color, and under the waterline, I mean just below the waterline, it's done like a brown smoky effect, and I actually like this combination. I just can't wait to try this out with my eyes. So I'm just taking a kajal by Smashbox Cosmetics and I'm just going to apply this on my waterline. It's basically a jet black color. Just going to use this particular sponge. So what happens when you use a sponge while doing your kajal or liner is you don't leave an impression on your skin. When you use your hand directly, it leaves an impression on your makeup and that looks very patchy. So it's better if you use a sponge and just kind of stretch your eyes and just do your kajal. Okay. So now the black kajal is done. I'm just going to take my brown kajal and I'm just going to apply it under the black. I'm just going to create a smoky effect. Now if you want to create a smoky effect, you got to do it quickly before it dries up, because otherwise it doesn't move from place. It becomes very hard. So just to make it more intense and just to give more depth, I'm just taking my Anastasia palette and I'm just going to use the shade Volatile and kind of create a smoky effect with the help of that color. Always use a smudging brush while creating that smudge effect, something which looks like this. This is basically from Morphe. It makes it very easier in case if you want to blend this out. I was actually trying with the flat brush, but trust me, it was a disaster. I immediately took out my smudging brush, and yeah, you don't have to create, if in case you want to create a wing, you can actually stretch it out, but in this particular look there is no wing at all. So just going to create that smoky effect. Wow, it looks nice. I kind of like it. So I'm just going to repeat this step on the other eye. Let me tell you in detail how you can do this smoky effect. Just take your brown kajal or black kajal, whichever color you like, and just apply it from here and gradually take it towards the end of your eye. Just don't go completely, because you're going to create anyways a smoky effect, so you don't have to apply all over your eye. Just take it from here till the end of your eye, and then immediately take a smudging brush, and probably you can just blend it with a similar color which is equal to brown or black, whatever, or you can just directly smudge however you want. I'm just using a color because I just want to create little depth to the eye makeup, and you quickly start smudging and kind of blend this out evenly. So that's about it. This is how you usually do your smoky effect. In case if you want to do it a smoky eyeliner, this is the same step you got to follow. If you want a smoky kajal, again you can just repeat the same process. So yeah, just follow these steps and I'm sure you'll be there. Alright, I'm just done with my falsies and I kind of finished eyeliner on one eye. I'm just going to repeat the process on the other eye. So in today's makeup look, the eyeliner is kind of a blend of brown and black. It is done in a smoky effect. So I would say the products that you have to pick for today's eyeliner is something which is more on the moisture side, because that's how you can create the smoky effect. The product will move and that's how the smoky effect will be created. So in case if you want to do a black eyeliner, I would suggest go for a gel bot eyeliner or probably a moisture enriched kajal, black kajal. But do not go for a sketch eyeliner for today's look, because that will not create a smoky effect. With a sketch eyeliner you just cannot create smoky effect. So I'm just going to take my Inglot gel pot eyeliner and I'm just using my eyeliner brush. I'm pretty much comfortable with this, but in case if you guys are quite skeptical, you guys can use your kajal, or especially which has moisture, and just start lining your eyeliner. So just take a sponge, stretch your eyes and just start doing your eyeliner this way. Right, just wait for some more time till it dries, kind of like a little partially, and then I'm just going to go ahead with my brown kajal, which is again from Smashbox Cosmetics. This kajal is enriched with moisture, so it becomes very easier to smudge. And quickly I'm just going to smudge with this smudging brush. Again I'm just going to stretch my eyes, and on top of that I'm just going to use my brown kajal. Alright guys, as you can see I'm done with the eyeliner. I'm just going to quickly jump to the next step, that is highlighter. And the palette that I'm using today is again from Nykaa. It has blend of ivory and copper shade. I'm just applying an appropriate quantity on the brow bone just to make sure it looks nice and highlighted. So yeah, going slightly heavy this time because the looks says it's a lot of highlighter to do, so I'm just going to go slightly heavy with my highlighter this time. So for the blush, I'm just going to use a subtle pink color in the shade Mild from K Beauty palette. Now a lot of blush is not required in today's look, just a very little quantity is more than enough, and it's done, you know, slightly on the side and not on the face. So just applying an appropriate quantity, just a touch of it, not a lot. If I see the image, a lot of blush is not required. Just going to do my highlighter on my face. Now in this particular look, the highlighter is actually very prominent, so I'm just going to use a particular technique. First, I'm just going to apply a strobe cream, which is in the shade Pinklite by MAC Cosmetics. I'm just going to take a small amount and probably just use my flat brush, I guess. Where's my flat brush? Okay, I can use this brush, it's fine. So I'm just going to apply it right here, just to make sure that the highlighter is much more visible and prominent. Now as you can see, I've already applied the strobe cream and it looks much more visible already. So on top of that, I'm just going to use a highlighter. This way it is going to look much more prominent. Okay, now I'm just going back to my highlighter and I'm just using a nice copper shade, just using the highlighter brush. I'm just going to highlight this particular area. So can you see the effect is already visible? It looks nice. Now after this, when I spray a setting spray, I'm just going to show, I'm sure the makeup is just going to look fabulous. So as you can see, the highlighter looks much more prominent and I kind of love this look. I'm just going to finish this with my favorite liquid matte by Smashbox in the shade Stepping Out. So guys, here comes the end of this particular makeup look. I've kind of overlined my lips because that's how the color is just going to look more prominent and it'll just stand out. So this is a look I've actually created for today and I hope you guys enjoyed watching this entire video. Just stay tuned, I'm just going to show you the final look in a while. So guys, this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this entire video while I enjoyed thoroughly filming this one for you. I'm completely in love with this makeup look and I thoroughly enjoyed, you know, the tutorial and while creating this entire makeup look. Yeah, this look is actually my favorite. And thank you so much guys for watching this entire video. Please do stay tuned for more videos. Till then, take care and love you all.